Okay guys, for some reason I had a weird glitch where it showed the picture of this monster and then it showed the picture of it in the bottom, and it did that for every one of these monsters, which basically bugged me when I was looking at the wording. I don't know. Is it gonna do it again? No. I did record it, but then I deleted it. I don't know why. Anyways, so this is the Dark Eradicator deck that I used in the duel hour. I did record this one other time, but I kept on falling asleep because I was kind of tired. So yeah, this is attempt 2 at making this, or I guess attempt 3, but this is attempt 2 at this. Attempt 3, attempt 2, who cares, of doing this deck review. Or, you know, let's just get into the deck. Deck recipe. So first off, we're running 3 Dark Magicians. He is a 2500 attack point vanilla monster, and not really the greatest thing you might want to summon, but he does have a lot of support from what I remember. We do want to run 3 because you go through him pretty quickly, and we're trying to mill him pretty quickly into the grave. Next up we have BLS. It is just in here because we run lights and darks. Same thing for Chaos Rusher and Dark Arm because we run a bunch of darks. It's not too hard to get out Dark Arm in this deck. Next up we run 2 Eradicators, or Dark Eradicator Warlock. Surprising enough, my sister had this card. I never really thought of it as that great of a card. I don't know, but that's because I never really understood Yu-Gi-Oh at the time when, well, we had this. So yeah, I actually had this card, but I never really appreciated it for how it was. So anyways, so this card cannot be normal summoned or set. It can only be special summoned by tributing a card with the name of Dark Magician. And the reason I said it like that is because we're not exactly going to get out Dark Magician, but we will sometimes. But I'm just saying, anything with the name Dark Magician, you just tribute, and yeah. But it has to have the name Dark Magician and not anything else. Anyways, so when a normal spell is activated, and going into stuff, normal spells are the spells that don't have a cross, a lightning bolt, I think it was a shuriken for field spell, and yeah, any of those things. Just a normal spell card like Pod Duality, and no infinite sign. Then that's a normal spell, which I'll show you a difference right here. This is a normal spell, or just a spell. This is not a normal spell, this is a quick play. I hope that explains so much. So yeah, we're playing 2 of these. You can run 3 of them, but I don't like to draw into them unless if I have the Dark Magicians out. So I rather try to hold off on drawing into them and draw into any support cards and stuff I have in my deck. So yeah, 2 is fine. Basically he's the main purpose of the deck anyways, and he's basically just a big old burn card, but we use him for rank 7s and stuff too, so we'll get into that in a little bit. 3 Elemental Hero Plasma, or not Plasma, Prisma. So yeah, you might be asking why we're running this in a deck that requires spellcasters. Well, in a deck that requires you to get a certain monster name, Prisma is always the best option. Well, not always, but mostly always the best option if you know that they have a fusion card such as Dark Paladin, or you can even go with Dark Flare Knight, and I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, you would run these in Cyber Dragon decks too, but Cyber Dragons already have enough support. So anyways, so Prisma is always a good choice if you're trying to get certain names of monsters, especially for Dark Magician. Anyway, so you reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck, and you mill out or send to the graveyard from your deck one of the cards that are listed on the card. So in the case of this, you would send Dark Magician because you want to get out Dark Eradicator. Simple enough. And yes, as I said before, anything that's named Dark Magician. So yeah, that's why I said it like that. So it's pretty nice. You can do that, and then you can get the Dark Eradicator Warlock. What I like to do, however, is try to mill out 3 Dark Magicians, and then I like to get this out, XYZ into Daigusto Emerald, and then bring out Dark Magician, and then bring out another Dark Magician next turn. Then I can make ring 7s, where I could get Eradicator out, and yada yada. It's so much different things you can do. I just like to do it that way because it thins out the deck a lot more, which lets you get into all these other cards you can use. But you don't have to do it the way I do it. You can just do Prisma and then bring out Dark Eradicator. So yep, simple enough. I mean, that's like the simple way of doing it. Next up is Skilled Dark Magician. I ran 2. I was choking on something. I don't know. Anyway, so Skilled Dark Magician. I ran 2 of them, but I changed it to 3 because I actually like the feel of 3 now. Basically, if you have 3 spell counters, you can tribute this card and special summon Dark Magician. Simple enough. So yeah, any spell card for this one. So when you're activating MSTs, Spellbook of Wisdoms, yada yada, is pretty good. Next up is 2 Summoner Monks. We discard a spell card, and we can special summon 1 level 4 or lower, special summon 1 level 4 monster from your deck. If you do that, you cannot attack with that level 4 monster. However, you're not really going to be worrying about that because you would be bringing out Prisma activate effect, and you probably make Daigusto Emerald, and then you would just special summon out the Dark Magician and just do it that way, or you just tribute this for this. So the best way to know how to decide on which one's which that you want to do, if you have the chance of doing it, like if you have Skilled Dark Magician along with Prisma, and then you activate Prisma's effect, you most likely want to just go for Dark Eradicator at that point, because you get a little, let me think about it, yeah, you get a little more attack than if you just went for Daigusto Emerald and then just attacked with Dark Magician or Dark Eradicator. If you went for this and this, of course you're going to go for Daigusto Emerald, I think. Yeah, because you can automatically get damage out right away instead of having to wait a turn and then probably end up losing Monk or something. But in my personal opinion, I like to just XYZ these up, go for Dark Magician, or get Dark Magician back, special summon Eradicator if I feel like it, and then next turn I can get another Dark Magician, or I can shuffle 3 cards back into the deck and draw a card. So either way, however you do it, it works either way. And we play 1 Trag, so we don't get OTK'd by anything. You bring it out, stall out, and then you can also make ring 7s. You can basically exceed into Emerald. You take your opponent's monster if they're playing like Dragon Rulers just by discarding Dark Magician. What else can you do? I mean, Tragodia is a very endless options kind of monster, as long as you have stuff that you can use. So you take rank 4 or take their level 4s and make rank 4s into Emerald. You can, I don't know, you can do a lot of things. So Dragodia pretty good in this deck. I could run Gores, and then Gores would be a candidate for rank 7s, but granted, I don't want to do that. I might do it in the near future, but right now Dragodia does everything I need it to. Allure of Darkness is pretty good if you activate it, which is also a normal spell, so you can deal 1000 with Eradicator. But you can banish a Dark Magician because you only need 2. I mean, 3 is nice, but you only need 2, in my personal opinion, when trying to get the Dark Magician card out. Also, you can banish Eradicators. You could banish Summoner Monks because they become dead cards if you've already gone through Prismas, or if you've already gotten out Eradicators and stuff. Well, it's not really dead cards, because you can still go for like the rank 4s and stuff, but that's all on your opinion. I mean, you only really need 1 Summoner Monk, and if you go through all your spells, then he is a dead card anyways, so yeah. Look, Dark Hole, you know what it does, not really needing any explanation. This one is pretty cool because, and let me scroll over to this guy. Anyways, so if you control a monster with the name of Dark Magician, you can destroy all spell and traps your opponent controls. So basically it's Heavy Storm if you have Dark Magician, or if you change Elemental Hero Prisma into the name of Dark Magician. So yeah, pretty good. We run 2 of them because it gets rid of back row very easy. I don't run 3 because if you don't have Dark Magician out, then it becomes a dead draw. But if you run 1, you might not draw into it. So yeah, it deals with people who are really set heavy and like to set 50 billion cards in their back row. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Dark Magic attack. Obviously the 2 E-calls to get Prisma. If Stratos wasn't banned, I would say run Stratos, but he's not, so we have to run 2 E-calls. Next up is 2 MST, because we're not going to be able to rely on just this card. So for now, we have to use 2 MSTs to get rid of back rows. 2 Pod Duality, you can deal 1000 damage with Eradicator. Oh yeah, and same thing for Emergency Call, you can deal 1000. And also, same thing for Dark Magic attack, which is pretty nice, because you can go Daigusto Emerald, bring back a Dark Magician, and of course you would have a Warlock, and then you can just do Dark Magic attack, blows up every one of your opponent's back row, and deals 1000 damage, and then you have 2500, 5000, and most likely 1800, so that would be 6800 damage, which is nice. It's actually really nice. So yeah, I mean, they probably would have really low life points by the time you have Eradicator out, so yep. And Pod Duality, you would never add the Dark Magicians. Always add either the BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, Dark Orange, Prismas. I don't really care to add skill or Dark Magician too much. Skill Dark Magician too much. Summoner Monk is a good option, and Track. So you can add anything you want, just do not, for the love of goodness, add Dark Magician unless your opponent is playing like level 7s and you have a Trag out on the field. So yeah. I would say the same thing about Dark Eradicator too. Don't really add him either. You'll get him in really good time, so if you don't, then you can pretty much hold out. 2 Spellbook of Power is a normal spell, gives 1000 attack, and lets you add a Spellbook card if you destroy an opponent's monster for battle. So you would add Secrets, and then you can add wisdom, set wisdom, and your card is protected. Or you can just do secrets and add another spellbook of power if you already have a wisdom, which I never have a hard time drawing into wisdom, but that's just me. Which is also nice because Dark Eradicator would gain 1,000 attack points, and you can deal 1,000 damage because spellbook of power is a normal spell, and then you would do a total of, let's see, 1,000. Now, granted, you had to destroy an opponent's monster, so yeah, if you're playing Fairy Meteor Crush, this would be a little better too, but I don't feel the need to do that. You could also play Wave, Diffusion Wave or something like that, where it's a level 7 attack everything, but or a level 7 or higher, something like that, spellcaster attack every monster on the field. You can do that too, but I don't feel the need to do that. So yeah, you just do spellbook power, you give it to him so you can do 1,000 because of its effect. You destroy your opponent's monster, you activate spellbook secrets, and you deal another 1,000, so it's 2,000 damage. And you would have this, so you would have a protected monster for your opponent's turn, so they can't just go Dark Hole and whatever. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Spellbook secrets to search out these spellbooks. 3 is a little too much of power, secrets, and wisdom. Wisdom you could get away with 3, but granted, if I draw these without a spellcaster on the field, which is the downside of spellbooks, you usually need a spellcaster on the field. So yeah, which is a downside. If you don't have a spellcaster, these cards are useless. So playing 2 of each is fine. If you want to run 3, and I'll get into more about spellbooks in a second. If you want to run 3 of each, go right ahead. So yeah. But this is just so I can search out more of the deck. This deck really needs you to be searching out stuff if you're going to be playing it. Like pretty much any deck that needs like draw power. Also, we don't play upstarts in here because Eradicator, I mean, it's just a normal draw 1 card, but if I wanted to do that, I might as well just play Jar Greed. So we don't do upstart because of that. And 1 day of peace is fine to do too, I guess. But I think 1 day of peace nullifies the burn effect, so. 2 spellbook of wisdom. Basically you target a spellcaster monster on the field, and you can make it immune to spells or trap cards. It's like Forbidden Lance without the decreasing attack effect. Granted, if you want, I would say Forbidden Lance is a little better than this, but on other hands, I would say this is a little better than Lance because you don't lose attack, except you only get half the part of protection, so I don't know, it depends on the situation. If you want to, side Lance and then change it up for this, but I like this because you can search it out with secrets, so yeah. 1 breakthrough skill is stop effect monsters. It's really crucial that you might need this. Maybe you don't need it and you just want to switch out for something, but I felt like I needed it a lot of the time. Compulse, get rid of XYZs, Deprison to get rid of Stardust and whatever. And XYZs like Dracosax and whatever. Mirror Force, because I like it. It destroys monsters. Solemn Warning, I only play this because I wanted to make this deck so that Bruce can get an idea of other things you can use for the deck. So Solemn Warning I kinda like because you do pay 2,000 and it stops your opponent dead on instead of Bottomless where it takes a while. But it's up to you guys. And Trundle Tribute is pretty nice, so it stops like swarming, so and this deck is definitely inspired by Bruce, so I do not take credit for the idea, but I do take credit for how this deck is built. So we play 1 Dark Paladin, obviously for the Prisma, and you might be asking, why don't I just play 2 of them? Because why would you play 2? You need only 1 for Prisma, and you just target this one all the time. Plus you'd be wasting room if you played 2 of these, so yeah. For some reason I thought this was a level 9. Abyss Dweller, I mean I just threw in random stuff to stop grave effects. A must is running Daigusto Emerald, where you can bring back a non-effect monster from your grave for Dark Magician, and you can shuffle the deck, so it's pretty nice to have 3 of these. Gaga Cowboy, it's whatever, just for burn damage. Ghost Trick Alley card, it destroys a set card, I like that. This one's pretty cool too. You can detach to destroy his back row depending on how many spellbooks you have in the grave. Next up we have, I'm just looking, is that 28 or is that 20? Okay. The Ball Chain to get the Dark Magicians in the grave, or get a certain monster at the top of your deck. Either way. Stroke, just flip stuff face down. Dracosec and Big Eye. Dracosec and Big Eye because we run level 7s, and Big Eye is pretty good, so you can block him off with the, not block him off, protect him with the Spellbook of Wisdom if your opponent just goes Dark Hole or something like that. Pretty good, and you can take an opponent's monster, which you can send Dark Magician to the grave, then use Daigusto Emerald to get Dark Magician back, all that good stuff. Black Ship Corn, because wind up Zen mains to protect stuff. So anyways, other things that you could run a deck, run in the deck, I ran Magician's Circle and Magical Dimension and Secret Village because those are nice side deck cards, and if you're going to play Spellcaster with your partner, if you're doing tag, then you can run these and they help. And let's actually get into certain stuff. Cup of Ace and Trade-In basically is an OTK kind of thing, where if you just play a bunch of draw cards with Tune Table Contents, because Tune Table Contents is obviously a normal spell, and you just basically thin out your deck bunch while Dark Eradicator's out, and you deal like 8,000 damage as quickly as you can. It's kind of like how Exodia plays, except you're using Dark Eradicator for an OTK. And then we have the spellbook part, where so you would just get spellbook or Dark Magician out with this or something. I don't remember which one it is that gets them out. And then after you get them out, you get Dark Eradicator, and then you start spamming spellbooks, because most of the spellbooks are normal spells, so pretty good. So yeah, I basically have done a dual hour. You have seen how well this deck does, and personally I definitely give it 8 out of 10. I was going to say 7 out of 10, but basically it's pretty good. So yeah, now we just wait for Bruce's version of the deck, or his Dark Eradicator deck, and we'll be all set. So if you guys enjoyed this video, even Bruce, if you watch this, then go ahead and leave a comment down in the section below and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, if you did not, if you think I should just run a pure draw engine deck of Dark Eradicator. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna run a pure dark draw engine. I want a little more fun and strategy and not just OTK my opponent and win. Oh yeah, another thing, you could run a burn deck engine too, with Fukazi and stuff. Thought I'd mention that, but yeah, basically those are my opinions about this, and yeah, tell me what you change, yada yada, you know how it goes. And I hope this helps you out in any way if you're running this deck. So I will catch you guys later. This is Dragox55 signing out.